Okay, we're going to now bring in a data file and then look at it and then see what cleaning we have to do to get the data ready for analysis. So let's say we bring in df1, read CSV, okay, and the file. The file is that one, employee data string cleaning. Okay, I already have it downloaded. Here in data, so I'm going to say this is data and the file name. Of course, this needs to go in string like that. Okay, and then say we want to look at data types, df1 dot data types. Okay, so I'm going to read this into df1 and we're going to look at the data types. Okay, so you see that we have employee ID is integer, name is object. Object means it's a string object, which is good. So gender is string object. So age in years is floating point, so that's a numeric value. Again, that's good. Year of joining, well, you expect that to be a date object, but it is just a regular object, which means there is something wrong here with the year, which is coded as a string object. It should be date object. And age, again, there is a problem here. Age in company should be a numeric value, but it is a string object. Salary is good, well, at least initially, we need to make sure that the numbers are reasonable, and state is a string object as well. So okay, we now have a little bit of an idea as to what are the things that we have to do. Now, if you look at the head, okay, so you see employee ID. Okay, if it's possible that we can promote that employee ID to an index, but we will look at that a little later. And then we have, okay, you can see that the state names, there is a problem because this apparently this must be Massachusetts. So at least there is one problem here, it's not fully spelled out. Okay, so now let's look at each column individually and then see whether it looks okay. Okay, so we'll start with df1 name. Okay, now you see that the name is, there is first name and then there is last name and then there is a bunch of white space. So suppose that we want to break this up into first name and last name and get rid of all the white space and then put that into the data frame, right? So we want to split, let's see, df1, okay, and we want to give names here. We'll come to that in just a second. Okay, so we want to take df1 name. Okay, remember, if you use the dot convention, you don't have to put up the quotation marks, but then the name has to be a valid Python name. Okay. So if you do it within square bracket, you have to put the quotation mark. So we want to take this name and then we use the string split. Okay. So that will split, so do we have one value space, multiple space, and then another value. Okay. It's possible some of these names may have a middle initial in between. We don't know, but I have kept it a little simple, so there is no middle initial, otherwise it will involve even more cleaning. So what this is going to do is, if I do it like that, okay, so we'll put it into a new column in just a second. If you did that, then you see it split each value, it's split into two parts, right? And then since it's got to go in just one place, it's making it into a list. So you have a first name, comma, last name, make it into a list and puts it in there. Okay. So if you put this into df1, well, what we want to do is to really break that into first name one column, the last name one column. Okay, not just a single column with the first and last name as a list. So we have to do two things for that. One is, here we do expand equal to true. Okay. When you specify in split expand equal to true, so that means when you have multiple values, those multiple values are all broken up into individual pieces and expanded out into different columns. And since we know there are only two values, okay, if it is just one value, you can give one name here. You can just simply say full name or something like that. But we have two values coming in, so we cannot say like this, no, this is not going to work. This has to be given as a list as well, like that. Okay. After that, if you print, so you see first name here, last name. It's split into two columns. Okay. Now we can get rid of this one. So how do we do that? There are at least couple of different ways you can do this. So df1 name, then you can use drop x is equal to 1. What did I do wrong? Well, we can do this. Okay, so that's gone. Okay.